up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. Make no mistake about it, no matter what media outlet you refer to, one thing seems apparent, whether we're talking liberal media networks or we're talking conservative right-wing networks. One thing seems apparent wherever you turn, and that is Biden is not doing anywhere near as well as expected in the polls. Virtually all of the Republican challengers are beating Biden in a one-off, in a virtual one-off, depending on what poll you look at. Everyone from Ron DeSantis, obviously former President Trump, Nikki Haley is way out in front if you put her up against Biden. So I want to ask you folks, why is Biden looking so dismal in the polls? The economy is getting better under President Biden. Many would argue that it's certainly not where it was, maybe during the heyday of Trump. I get it. The fuel prices have not come down to where they were under Trump. We understand. However, if you go back to the first year of the Biden administration and compare it to now, things certainly are not as bad as they used to be. So why is Biden doing so awful in the polls? I'm going to ask a simple question to you folks. Let me know in the comments. Simply put, do you believe what the polls are telling you? Now, I understand most of us probably have not been polled. I'll make it clear, yours truly. I'm on a host of political outlets. I subscribe to a lot of political pages. I have been polled numerous times, but most people have not. Most citizens have not been polled. A few. So they get these folks from somewhere. But I want to ask it to you from this way, from this standpoint. Is it possible that the polls are inaccurate and that the Democrats, in order to draw a high voter turnout, are deliberately lying to make it sound even worse than it is? Is that possible? Or is it indeed true that Trump is just way the hell out in front and maybe Biden has no chance? What say you? We're going to go straight to the comment section. As always, the program is and forever will remain MAGA friendly. Nevertheless, liberals are always welcome on the program. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. So let me make that clear. If you disagree with the host, nobody gives a damn. We're always about free speech here. Tap the screen. Get your boy likes up. We're going to start it out real quick on YouTube because we're running it simultaneously on YouTube. Tom Young says the economy is getting better. Are you on drugs? Listen, folks, I didn't say the economy was perfect, damn it. However, if you look at where we at in December 2023 right now, you're going to tell me this time last year, December 2022, the economy has not improved not one damn bit since December 22? How about December 2021? You're telling me you see zero improvement. I'm not here to praise Biden or pretend like the economy is great, but to lie and make it sound like there has not been any improvement over the last year or two is being disingenuous. It's simply being disingenuous. Look it in the comments. There will be a 2024 election, says user57. Why won't there be an election in 2024? Please elaborate. We're going to go straight to the box. Are the polls lying to the people, or is Trump indeed way the hell out front? Going straight to the box, we'll go start it out with Jeff. Good afternoon, Jeff. Welcome to the program. Trump is way out in front. Is that accurate? Good afternoon, Jeff.
I think the polls are pretty accurate. I mean, to answer your question, I think the reason why Biden is looking so dismal is because he looks dismal. You know what I mean?
So they're going by Biden's looks, but why is Trump so far out in front? I mean, is the economy not getting better, as Tom on YouTube said? Do you not see any improvement in the economy at all?
I mean, if it is getting better, it's not making really that much of an impact on many people, to be honest with you. I mean, making a big impact on me as far as my groceries go. My house note still goes. My gas bill goes. I mean, I would like to know what kind of impact people are saying the economy's making, because for me, it's really not that big of an impact.
Well, let's talk about some of the things you mentioned in regards to groceries and your gas bill. You're not paying any less at the pump than you were a year or two ago for fuel, gas?
I mean, if I am, I'm still paying $60, $70, $80 to fill up a tank, versus when Trump was in office, I was paying $30, $40 to fill up a tank.
Okay, and I don't disagree with that one bit, but the point I'm asking when I say the economy is getting better, it certainly has seen its worst days under Biden. But if you just look at the time Biden is in office, and you see where the economy had peaked out, do you see any improvement over the last 3 years that Biden has been in office? We're not talking about during the Trump era. I'm saying that I agree with you. The economy shot up under Biden. But you don't see it coming down now?
I mean, from the day he started till today, I mean, if it's came down, it's came down a fraction of a bit.
What about here? Let me give you one. Let me give you one that was extremely popular. We heard all the time about the cost of eggs. You haven't seen any decrease in the price of eggs.
I don't buy eggs.
Milk.
I don't use milk.
Okay, all right, fair enough. But
you know what I mean?
Okay,
but like I said, from when he started to now, if it's come down a fraction of a bit. I mean, it's still heavy punches at the pump. It's still heavy punches at the grocery store. You know what I mean?
I don't know, Jeff. I will tell you this. Now, I'm paying in my area in the Midwest. We're well under $3 a gallon now. We're like $2.70, $2.80. Under Trump, it was closer to $2, but we've seen damn near $4.50 a gallon gas over the last 2 or 3 years. That huge backtrack, you said a fraction?
I would say a fraction. I mean, you know, I don't know. I just think it's not up to Trump's level, and I mean, like, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay, so let me ask you this question in regards to the economy we had under Trump, and many folks favor that. Absolutely a reason why, but why do you think if he was doing so well economically, he lost to Biden the first time?
I don't want to continue with the Biden cheated thing. It really doesn't matter now to me, because, you know, at the end of the day, I'm there. But I really couldn't answer that question for you.
Okay, fair enough. We don't have to go down that road, but if you can't answer why, or you don't want to go in that, what's stopping Biden from winning again? All of the metrics that were in place while Trump was in power in the White House, if Biden can win then, even according to what you're talking about, what's stopping him from winning again? He's in power now.
I think the thing that's going to make him lose now is the fact at the way that he looks. I mean, you could tell the cognitive disadvantages between him and Trump. I mean, the way that he's put this country in the middle of people's problems that we're not even supposed to be involved with. I mean, just the other day, he signed over another $200 million. I mean, it's insane.
Here's where I'm confused. When you say he's putting us in the middle of other people's problems, you're talking about world, wars and other global affairs. But
yeah,
we voted
exactly.
But Bush did that, and we voted him in for a second term. Why did the rules change?
No, but I mean, look at Bush compared to even today. Even today, Handsome, if you look at Bush compared to looking at Biden, who looks worse in your opinion?
I would say the cognitive argument, I'm going to concede it to you in a cognitive argument. But when you say that these two comparing Trump to Bush or Trump to Biden and saying who looks the worst, do you think the women's vote, considering what's going on in the abortion world, where these women are all over TV, literally facing death, do you think that's going to hurt at all to the Republican side of the aisle?
I think. I really don't know. I mean, I think that's going to be the deciding factor. I mean, now the liberal women are screaming, all about the abortion thing, but for the women that go towards Republican, you really don't hear much about it.
Well, wait a minute. Did you not see the abortion vote in Kansas, Montana, Ohio? These are Republican states. The Republicans are voting against this. I don't know if I agree with you in suggesting that the Republican women are not saying anything about it.
I'm not sure, man. Like I said, that's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
All right.
I really think so.
Fair enough. I got to move it on, but I will tell you in the comments, Buff Dickles said, I voted Republican until Roe versus Wade was overturned. I don't know, man. You're talking about throwing women in prison for having an abortion, and if you get sick while pregnant, they're going to force you to carry this baby to term, even if your doctor is saying you are in peril. I mean, we got live, real-world examples of that now. So I don't know, particularly the young, fertile women. You don't have to be a Democratic woman to get possibly caught up in this stuff. So I don't know. You might be right.
To be honest with you, I'm going to make a little joke right here, but for the women that are complaining about it, they need to stay off the streets.
Oh my God! I gotta go. Always welcome, Jeff. That was an awful joke, but come on back anytime. Wow. All right, look at it. Stay off the streets. Oh my God. Let me take a moment to let that sink in. If you don't want to be caught up in this whole abortion banning debacle, stay off the streets. What the hell? All right, going back to the comment section. Damn, I was not expecting that, Jeff. Richard on YouTube, I actually thought Trump was going to face a little justice. Turns out he is above the law, and everyone I know, oh damn, I missed the rest of that comment. And everyone I know has always been in the MAGA coat, and no one is budging. I'm thinking America is over. Yikes! That sounds kind of Armageddon-like. There are folks who readily voted on the right side of the aisle that are budging. We can talk about the cult thing and issues like that, but there are some folks on both sides. I hate to use that term, but all Biden supporters have not stayed with Biden, and certainly not all Trump supporters have stayed with the former president. So there are people who are budging. Looking in the comments, Trump to prison 2024. I don't know. I don't think that's likely. Name a politician that doesn't get away with stuff. Spot on comment. Absolutely, that is the truth. Now, some would argue that, when it comes to, say, the likes of George Santos, Senator Menendez, or even President Trump, these may be things that have crossed the line and went a bit further than what most politicians do. But your comment is absolutely correct. Most politicians do skirt, toe the line, and get away with a lot of shit. Going back to the box country, or better yet, FSU, I saw him holding on. Asking that question, why is Biden doing so dismal in the polls compared to virtually every Republican contender? I don't know if they compared him to the likes of Chris Christie, but Haley, DeSantis, and certainly Trump, he's not doing as well. FSU, good afternoon. What say you?
How you doing, Tim?
I'm doing good.
All is well, man. I guess it's obvious that the polls aren't accurate. If you go back at any sitting president, Obama, Clinton, none of them had favorable polls while they were going for re-election.
But it wasn't this far. It wasn't. Trump is way out ahead of his Republican contenders. It wasn't this big.
This far, what does that mean?
50 points?
You've seen a poll where Trump is ahead of Biden by 50
No,
points?
no. 10 points on Biden. You're right. 10 points on Biden, but his other.
So here's what I'll say. I think the segment of the population that they poll, I'm like you. I've never been polled before.
No, I have numerous times.
I've never been polled. I'll rephrase what you said. You said most Americans hadn't been polled, and I'm in that group.
True.
Most Americans haven't been polled. Most Americans haven't been to a political rally. And I think because of social media, because of the news, we give a lot of credence to how many people are at Trump rallies, or how many, that's something that I think the Republican Party leans on very, very heavily, because they don't see an equivalent Biden rally, and they think they make a correlation.
Well, but it's not. Let me just say this. And by the way, folks, tap the screen. I haven't solicited that yet. Get your boy up to 15,000. Got 700 plus of you in it. So I do appreciate you folks in here. Let your thumbs not be lazy. Tap the screen. In regards to Republicans paying attention to crowd size, and comparing it to the small lackluster attention that Biden rallies, we were doing the same thing. Mitt Romney versus Obama. Mitt Romney wasn't drawing anywhere near the crowds as Obama, and we were bringing that up too. So it's not a Republican thing. They just happen to be bringing in more people than we are right now.
Well, I always default to the math. If you look, I'm gonna put this in context for you guys. All the metrics point to Biden. Now, when you go back to the midterm election, when you go to these small elections in these individual states, post Roe v. Wade, I don't think it's going to be close. But what I'll say is this: since 2020, just go back to 2020. Every kid, I want everybody to kind of visualize this. Everybody who was in high school in 2020, all across the United States, and even some eighth graders are going to be voting age in 2024.
But are they going to show up?
Well, hold on. We do know that the youth vote leans liberal, right?
That ain't what I said. Are they going to actually show up? Yeah, overwhelmingly. Overwhelmingly.
Imagine every high school student from 2020 is going to be voting age.
Yeah.
And now the Republicans will say this: I can't believe 81 million people voted for Biden. Every election, there's going to be more voters.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be more voters in 2024 than there were in 2020.
But wait. Here is the problem, though. If you're a high schooler and you're going to be soon, or early college, you're going to be soon reaching that age to vote, or you just turned 18 and you're going to be voting.
All of them are voting age in 2024.
Okay, let's say all of these young folks that are voting age in 2024, is Biden really looking that attractive to you in your early 20s?
Let me ask you this. Who do you think would resonate more with the LGBT community, just for one? Somebody who's a new voter, or their parent who is staunch in their beliefs? I think they would resonate more with that community.
I'll concede that. I saw a guy on television.
But I want to finish my point.
All right, go ahead.
All of the new voters from 2020 to 2024, they lean left. Roe v. Wade, this country is 51% women. They're leaning left too. Mm. So I don't see it. The only way the Republican Party, and this is going back 40 years, can win an election, a presidential election, is they gerrymander or they manipulate the people if you Google right now, they're still trying to not allow felons to get votes. That's the only way that they're going to win, is if they limit, they'll do things with the voting hours. Like they've made it criminal in a lot of states to even hand voters water or food in the voting lines. Stuff like that. Call into question mail-in ballots, where it's been legal in Utah for every registered voter in Utah gets a mail-in ballot. They don't call that into question because that state leans red or leans right.
Yeah. Let me say this. I will agree with you from one standpoint that The youth vote is no doubt leaning. They've always leaned left. When you look at what the Republican principles are, you look at what the Democratic principles are. It shouldn't surprise you why folks that are younger lean left. I mean, young folks are in favor of marijuana legalization. You pointed out LGBT the younger crowd is overwhelmingly okay with the LGBT community. They're okay with diversity, and the Republican Party tends to be an older base. They're more pro-Christian, pro-police. These are not the things that younger folks are really in favor of. Younger folks push back against the police. They certainly are not very Christian-like. So when you watch right-wing media outlets, you can tell who they're catering to. Just look at the advertisement. They're selling gold. They're talking about Roth IRAs and 401ks transfers. It's clear they know their viewership is an older crowd. So I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But I don't know, Biden is old. So when you talk about the young folks.
Trump is no spring chicken.
True.
They're both old.
True.
Come on, guys. They're both old. They're both over the average age for males in the United States. They both, every new day for each one of them is a blessing. If you now I'm being serious. Listen, I get on my knees every day. What is Trump 77 and Biden is 80?
Yeah. Biden is 81. But I'll just real quick in regards to what you're saying. If Trump wins in 2024, when he is sworn in January of 2025, he will actually be older than Biden was when he got sworn in.
Guys, listen, here's the thing, and I want to end with this. You guys look at the economy, and it's completely skewed. It's completely based off of like what you're being told and how you feel. And you guys need to go look at the data. When I'll give you an example. February of 2016, Obama was in office. We had $1 gas. Nobody holds him up on a pedestal and say he was the best president for gas. He started the whole fracking movement, and he is the reason, one of the reasons right now, and people don't realize this, we are more energy independent December 18th, 2023, since we have been since the 50s when we weren't importing oil. So we produce more energy than we use today. This is not debatable. It is a verifiable fact. Another verifiable fact is you mentioned the guy said about eggs. Oh, I don't use eggs when you ask him about eggs. Guys, in the entire 2022, there was a supply chain issue with eggs. There was a bird flu. And nobody brings that up. That's the reason the price. It wasn't like Joe Biden was pulling strings saying, let's increase these egg prices to make the breakfast less affordable for most Americans. And that's not what happened. The supply chain issue was resolved. These sick birds got weeded out, and eggs are cheaper now. Nobody looks at milk and says, milk today is 100% cheaper than it was when Trump was in office. Nobody says that. Nobody says in 2020, lumber was 2 times as much today in 2020 than it is today. You go ask a builder, which is was lumber more expensive in 2020 or today? They're gonna tell you. You can Google this. This information is right in front of everybody, but nobody looks. Everybody thinks that Biden is just ruining the economy, and it's just not accurate. We got 3% inflation, 3% unemployment. You have to compare us to other G9 countries and look at their inflation in Europe is 20%.
All right.
It's 3% here.
I get your point. Well taken.
I want to end with this, guys. The United States they were the number 1 consumer of gas in the world. We consume more than 2 and 3 combined. Supply and demand shows us gas should probably be $5 or $6. Other countries are paying $5 and $6 a gallon.
Right.
They play liters, but for us to have, you mentioned gas was a little bit cheaper when Trump was in office. If you factor in the 3% inflation, it's cheaper now. I went and got.
I'm gonna have to get you wrap it up. I don't know, but go ahead and wrap it up. I'll give you.
Tim, just do the research. Tim,
all right.
guy.
All right. Tim. All right. I do got to move it on.
Everybody, everybody says there's inflation. We can all agree that there's inflation. But when you look at, I paid $2.59 today for gas.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
I don't disagree. It's coming down. I don't disagree with that. All right, man. Appreciate you coming through, FSU. Well stated. I'll respond to what you just said on the other side. All right. One of the couple of things my last caller just mentioned. I do see you there, cheeky chops on YouTube. Do the research. They all say that. Well, listen. I certainly people do say do the research. I'm still asking folks, when are when is the proof that the election was stolen going to ever come out? Well, do the research. I hear that all the time. What my last caller was saying, I'm not disagreeing with most of that, but I have a major problem. For voters, perception is reality. I don't give a damn what's actually going on economically. When people go to the supermarket, if they had to pay more under Biden than they did under Trump, none of that other shit, the semantics does not make any difference. Even if lumber is cheaper and all of this stuff, people are seeing that my grocery bag is either smaller or more expensive when I go to the supermarket. Now, he laid out a whole laundry list of things that were favorable to President Biden that I don't necessarily disagree with at all. But the problem is, as I just stated, with perception being reality, look at all of the times you see President Trump giving rallies, giving speeches, having meetings out in public. Compare that to Biden. Now, Biden is obviously president doing his job, but Trump was holding rallies while he was president too. This is the cognitive issue, where one seems to be able to take on a much bigger schedule than the other guy. Biden should be doing rallies stating exactly what my last caller did. He's not doing that. Therefore, even though the economy is getting better under Biden, few people feel it because all you're hearing is from his detractors. Trump is probably talking to voters 10 times as much as Biden is. 10 times as much. And of course, the Republican candidates, in addition to Trump, DeSantis, Haley, and even Chris Christie are also out there bashing Biden, which is what they're supposed to do. Biden is not getting his point across. It should be obvious to everyone why Biden appears to suck. Everybody you hear talking about what's going on are speaking negatively of President Biden. I'm not saying he's doing all that great, but I'm simply saying if all you hear is bad shit, it's going to make a difference. Biden should be definitely doing more speeches, rallies. I don't know where the hell Kamala Harris is, but she should be doing it too. Try to get Michelle and Obama on the works, or Bill the Clintons on the works. Trump alone is talking to more voters than most of the Democratic Party. And that right there is not helping Biden in his message at all. Looking in the comments, I'll tell you real quick before I go back to the box. I've told you guys a couple months ago, I went to a Trump rally. It didn't start till 4. We were in line about 3 hours waiting. We were in line about 3 hours. Most Trump rallies, they're all sold out. They all fill up. So you're going to wait. 3 hours we're waiting. Trump is in a neighboring town holding another rally. Biden doesn't maintain a schedule like that, and it comes to his detriment. Going back to the box, Biden's poll numbers suck compared to Trump. Are the polls getting it wrong? Is it perhaps the Democrats, in effort to energize the vote, is deliberately making it sound like dire straits to get Democrats up and scared? Or are the polls maybe accurate? Going back to the box, Country Hound Dog. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program. Appreciate you folks tapping the screen. Get your boy up to 25,000. Let your thumbs not be lazy. Program is always will be MAGA friendly, but liberals are welcome. Country Hound Dog. Good afternoon.
How's it going, handsome?
Going good.
Thanks for that compliment earlier when you said my comment was spot on about all politicians getting away with stuff. That's true.
Can't deny it. Can't deny it.
Politicians. So, as for and this is my opinion. We all know they're like a-holes. Everybody got one, right?
Yep, that is true.
Anyways, the biggest reason I think that you're hearing, and a lot of people who voted for Biden have left him, and when it comes down to it, I don't think it's so much because he ain't out there, giving speeches and holding rallies like Trump is. Okay, I think it's just simply everybody is feeling the crunch of the economics. Right? So
But Hound Dog, I'm not feeling them. I actually earn more money now, have an easier gig, living a better life than I did before 2020. I don't think everybody is feeling that though.
Well, you may not be. I think most people are. And
okay.
And when it comes to gas, the last gentleman was talking about how we're number one consumer of gas and supply and demand. That's right. That's true. But I will say this: when I was in Iraq, okay, they produced their own oil. They used their own oil. They did not import it. They didn't. They exported less oil than they brought in.
Okay.
Okay. And because they used their own oil for their own people, gas in Iraq in 2003 was 25 cents a gallon.
Wow. Yeah, but Iraq is a special case. One being the United States is always
Saudi, same way.
okay. Well, let me say why Saudi also is a special case. In addition to the fact that they got a hell of a lot more oil under their landscape than most countries. But I will say this: both of those countries don't have the same mindset the United States. We have money, so our goal was to import oil so that if there was ever a major war and folks wanted to sanction us and not send us oil, kind of like what we did to the Japanese during World War II. The moment they started acting up, we stopped sending them raw materials that they needed to fund their war machine. If we don't ever use any of our oil and we just pay to import it from other countries, if a major war breaks out, we have kept our oil the whole time. I believe that's what the mindset was, is to import to keep our resources just in case something kicked off.
And, yes, we do need to have resources. I agree with you on that. I've also been to Portugal, okay?
Okay.
And Portugal paid, and at that same, and this is the same time frame, 2002, 2003, okay? I was there on business for Uncle Sam.
Okay.
So I want to say about it. But again, they were only paying, I think, where the area I was in, they were only paying 50 cents a gallon. Supply and demand does make a big difference.
Yeah.
Do we need to drill for our own oil and use our own oil? Yes. But one of the things that really hurts America and any other country out there is when OPEC gets together and says, look, we're cutting production by 1 million barrels a day. And one of the things that really peeved me off at Biden recently was when he went on national television and actually praised the Arab nations and OPEC and them for saying, he said, look, I agree, and I'm glad you're keeping oil production cut by 1 million barrels in order to keep energy prices up.
But wait, hold on. I get your point about him praising. Wait a minute, though. Hold on, hang on a second. I'll let you finish your point, but you mentioned him praising these OPEC nations. You do realize President Trump has praised the likes of Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un. Hell, he's even said positive things about Hamas. You don't have any issue with that?
I have missed the Hamas comments. Okay.
All right.
Oh, no, I've missed those. I've heard Putin and Kim Jong-un, those I've heard. Okay. And honestly, I think Trump was doing good by trying to stay friendly with Russia and stay friendly with, North Korea, trying to, he's the first president that went to North Korea in how long?
Yeah. Do you look back at Trump reaching out to North Korea and say, yay, that was a good job, we got something out of it? Do you see anything positive that came out of that? What about Vladimir Putin? He reached out to Vladimir. You see anything positive that came out of that?
North Korea, no. Putin, yes.
What do you see positive that came out of reaching out to Putin?
I'm gonna fall, and unfortunately, I don't mean to sound like I'm picking on Obama here, okay?
Okay.
But unfortunately, during Obama's watch, what do you remember what country Putin invaded?
He invaded Georgia first under Bush, and I think Crimea under Obama, 2014.
Crimea.
Yeah, Crimea in
Okay.
2014.
Yep. And when he went into Crimea, he went after one specific resource, the natural gas reserves under the ocean there.
Okay.
And right after he invaded Crimea, we saw the price of natural gas go shooting up. Propane shot up, it almost doubled in price.
So what is the positive for reaching out to Putin? After he committed 2 evil acts, what's the positive?
And I agree, that was an evil act, that was wrong. You can't fault a man for making a power play to improve his country, though.
At the expense of human lives, though.
The way he did it was wrong.
Yeah.
Well, when Trump came in, Putin settled down. Putin didn't try to invade no more countries. He stayed back and he stayed quiet.
But it almost sounds like it would almost be like, you know, when I was the governor of Wisconsin, Jeffrey Dahmer didn't eat nobody else. I mean, he had done all this evil stuff already. Why would you reach out to him so you don't commit more evil acts?
Well, and that's what Trump was trying to do, was to stop him, and he was doing that, and it was being successful. When Biden got in, now look where we're at with Putin coming into Ukraine. 25% of our foreign oil travels through that port.
But here's where I'm baffled. You admit Putin had committed acts of evil before Trump got in office, and then we talk about the benefits of Trump reaching out to Putin and him not committing any acts of evil while Putin was in office. I remember George W. Bush stating, America does not negotiate with terrorists. How is that any different than Trump reaching out to someone who was essentially terrorizing other countries and then bragging about, well, under my watch, he didn't commit any acts of terrorists? Did he negotiate with a terrorist?
I can't say whether he actually negotiated with him or not, but, you know, but also, again, fall back to Obama. Obama got caught on a hot mic.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that.
I'll take care of it for you.
I do remember that.
I mean, that was supposed to be behind closed doors, but it got out.
But think about that. Think about what you're pointing out. When Obama got caught on a hot mic and was talking about, well, after the election, we may be able to get things done. Why was it so wrong when Obama got caught on a hot mic, as you talk about negotiating and reaching out to Russia? But then when Trump did it, literally followed right after Obama, is suddenly a great thing now.
I think the reason why everybody said it was wrong under Obama was because they tried to hide everything. Honestly, I think if Obama was doing something good, why didn't he just come on out and say, look, this is what we're doing?
But how do you see? Yeah, but how do you see?
If he had done that, I think if Obama had done that, it could have turned that whole situation around for him and made him look like a shining star.
And real quick, folks, tap the screen. I'm going to keep soliciting that. Get your boy up to 30,000. I want to, before I move it on, how do you see Obama as hiding it when Trump received a letter from Kim Jong-un that he is not released to this day, so we don't know what came out of that. He also met with Vladimir Putin privately, and the translator's notes were taken from the translator by the Trump administration. So he didn't exactly we didn't exactly know what Trump talked to Kim Jong-un or Vladimir Putin about either. It was done in secrecy.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you know as well as I do, every politician out there, they do these backroom, quiet, secret deals that we don't know about. And we scream for transparency in our government, but yet then we never do nothing about it. I got a question for you, though.
Real quick.
And I want to know what your opinion is. I've been trying to catch you on a live. It's hard for me to do because I run a road service.
Understood.
Okay?
All right, go ahead.
And I love talking with you because we have good dialect, good conversation.
Feelings mutual. What's your question?
The Supreme Court is talking about taking up January 6 cases.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Now, if the Supreme Court decides that what our current government, and I'm not saying Democrat, Republican, because both sides, I think, have picked on these people, period, okay, and jailed these people unjustly.
All of them? You don't think any of them should be in jail?
Some of them did do wrong and should be jailed.
Okay.
But there's a lot of them that have been jailed unjustly.
Okay.
Okay. And like I said, I think it's coming from both sides. So if the Supreme Court takes up these J6 cases and they decide, hey, government, you was wrong, you got to release these people. Now, my understanding is there's going to be probably 60 or 70 charges against Trump that are going to get dropped because of that.
Yeah, see, I can't. Yeah,
How do you feel?
yeah. See, I would love to answer. I can't really. I can't answer because the Supreme Court is doing things that I normally would. I mean, like with Roe v. Wade being rolled back, no one, even on the Republican side of the aisle, thought they would do that. So it's hard to know what the Supreme Court will do. I think Trump thought when it came to the election where he was suggesting it was stolen, I don't think he expected a Supreme Court that's 33% of it was appointed by him would not even listen to his case. So I can't, I hear what you're saying, but I can't give you an opinion on it because the Supreme Court with Clarence Thomas, for instance, all of that conflict of interest stuff, the fact that he's still serving is amazing. So I don't know. I really don't know. They're like a wild card.
I tell you what, look it up, see what you can find out about it. Tag me in a video. Give me your opinion. And then next time I can catch you on live, we'll go over it. One more thing, and I'm going to let the next person coming in roast me on this, okay? As for Roe v. Wade being overturned, in one aspect, I think that is a win for the U.S. One big aspect. Because what it did was it allowed states, it gave back the state. Each state now has the individual right to choose instead of the federal government saying, you have to do this. So the states actually win back some of their rights to make decisions.
Yeah.
Instead of daddy government saying you have no choice. So Roe v. Wade being overturned in that aspect is a win. Now, there are a lot of issues that have come about. And I will say, in the case, it's a necessary evil in some cases of rape, incest, where the mother or the child life is in peril or in jeopardy of dying. There are some cases where I think abortion is a necessary evil.
Okay.
It is unfortunate.
All right, I do got to move it. I'll respond to that on the other side, but I do got to move it on there, Hound Dog. Always a pleasure. Glad to have you on again today.
Yes, sir. Take care.
Absolute. Now, the left leaning side of me, I gotta say I vehemently disagree that rolling back Roe v. Wade was a win-win. For the simple fact is, what's coming out of it is draconian. Now, if you want to say where it gives, gave the rights back to the states, I understand that point, but some of the things they're doing is downright cruel. I mean, if a woman is pregnant and the baby is dying inside of her, and they're going to force her to carry the baby to term anyway, knowing her ultimate, yeah, they got the right now to do that, where they didn't federally have the right to do that before. That's not a win. That is not a win. That is a loss for the mom because the baby wasn't going to be born and living anyway. Nobody wins in that situation. So, and it goes way beyond that. They're passing laws in Texas, for instance, that are making it illegal to use the Texas highway system to go anywhere and have an abortion, including leaving the state. So if you get pregnant in Texas, and now I don't know how the hell they would enforce this, but if they find out your husband is driving you to Illinois or New Mexico to have an abortion, he's aiding and abetting a murder. This is what they're passing laws for. I don't see the win in that. I see a serious rolling back of evolution when it comes to this stuff. I get the argument on the extreme side. We don't want ninth month abortions in the third trimester. I get that. They're going way beyond that. They're going way beyond aborting viable fetus. They're to the point now where they're passing 15-day abortion bans. A lot of moms don't even know they're pregnant at that point. There's nothing viable at 15 days. So, and I don't fault the avenue they took, because the liberals do it too. We use extremities to pass, basic politics. You pick out the extreme examples. And that's what the right has done to ban abortion. While, I think Ron DeSantis was talking about moms having a baby, umbilical cord cut, took the baby home, come back 30 days later and getting it aborted. Ron DeSantis said that happens. I've never heard of that. Extreme examples to get these laws passed. But the laws they're passing have nothing to do with late-term abortions. These women are being denied birth control. They're starting to attack birth control now. They're way beyond that. I don't see the win in this. I don't. I see women being put in a perilous position. I see women being put in a position where it's going to be expensive, because now you got to travel 2-3 states over to have an abortion, take days off work and things like that. I see women being put in a position where they can be incarcerated. I've heard some stories coming out about that, where women are being charged because they miscarried at home with desecration of a fetus and things like that. It's not good. It's not good. If you believe women are losing rights to the LGBT community because they can play for their sport, they can pose as a woman and do female commercials and things like that, and you don't see women losing rights in the abortion debate, you're just blind. What rolling back Roe v. Wade is doing to women is 1,000 times worse than the transgender effect on women. Looking in the comment section. So they have to deal with laws like men do with child support. You don't go to prison for murder for not paying child support. It's considerably stricter. And I'm not here to argue that the laws on child support are draconian and ridiculous too. I'm not arguing with that. But this is worse. This is worse. You're not going to die because you didn't pay child support. It's way worse. So you don't think abortions should be regulated? Not like this. Not like this. I don't know how you can regulate abortions without seriously mistreating people. It's almost like trying to regulate suicide. This is a person doing something to their own body, and you're trying to regulate it. It would be literally like trying to regulate suicides. How do you do that? If a person really wants to take their own life or the life inside of them, how can you really stop that? I strongly believe, and I'll go right to the boss. Yeah, appreciate that, you folks that have been sending me a few gifts, few and far between, but thank you for those who do. If a person wants to take their life or the life inside of them, I don't believe jailing this person is the answer. I think that's the reason why in America there's so many people incarcerated, more than any other country on earth, I assume, with the exception of maybe China, per capita and population-wise. It's because we throw people in jail that shouldn't be. If a woman terminates the pregnancy inside of her, is she really a danger to society where she needs to be thrown in? I just think it's wrong. But listen, I lean left, so a lot of these folks lean right. I want to go to the box. I could go on and on about that topic because I think the direction is going is pretty bad. It just says move. Wait a minute. I don't know. What did I just click on? We have the most prisoners. Yeah. Electric Wolf, just a man. Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm doing good. The polls have Biden being trounced by Trump. Trump is in front of Biden on virtually every poll. Are the polls accurate, or are they just lying to us again?
Well, I
I personally think they're accurate, but that's my wishful thinking because God knows I don't want this guy in again. And whoever his vice president is going to be scary anyway. So, I don't think he'll finish his term. And then we got Kamala.
Whoa! You think President Biden would die in office if he's reelected?
No, I don't think he'd die in office. You never know. Or he may be incapacitated with his dementia, and to the point where it's going to be like, you know what, bro, you're done. And then they put Kamala, and it's like, oh my God. It's just, it goes from bad to worse. I can just,
but
for another 2-3 years.
But think about it this way. 4 years ago, Bruce Willis was still making movies, and look at him now. Even though Trump appears to be cognate, hell, Trump is no spring chicken. He could also have dementia and not finish his first 4 years, or his second 4 years.
Well, yeah, but look at it this way. Dementia. Joe, oh my God, the words are synonymous. Joe, right now has it. Right now he's declining hardcore. Nobody wants to admit it. They said, oh, well, it's because they show clips. Whatever. The thing is that he's in decline right now. And they're still like, oh, he's our guy. It's amazing the things he does. He speaks to me in private like you would not believe. And he's such a philosopher. And they're full of shit. No, they're not. Come on. The guy can barely put two sentences together and make them make sense about one subject he's talking about.
I'm not gonna disagree with you that politicians can be full of shit. Maybe they're saying Biden is totally alert when they know different, but I seen what happened on January 6th with the Republican politicians, and I did see them completely change their tune on January 7th. So there's some people that are full of shit on both sides. I seen how Mitch McConnell and
I agree.
All right.
I agree 110%. Trust me, but because I'm a Republican, trust me, like I said, I think McConnell's a weasel. I think Lindsey Graham's a weasel. And I think Lindsey Graham is a weasel because I think he's deliberately trying to sabotage the Republican Party by pulling this bullshit about an abortion ban on a federal level.
It ain't, but wait a minute, it's not just Lindsey Graham. Mike Pence said it, Mitch McConnell said it, and Trump himself said a federal abortion ban is possible. Even Trump said it.
No. He didn't say it was possible under him, though. The thing is, that's one thing I'm going to take issue with you, handsome, is this is the thing that makes me want to strangle you. Figuratively, not figuratively.
All right, let me have it. I'm not going to ban you. I'm going to let you talk. Give me what you got.
Well, I know, but you never know. TikTok's going to be like, oh, you just threatened to unalive him and stuff,
Use a synonym.
This is the issue that I have with you. You paint Republicans as we don't support the LGBT, we don't support women, we want abortions, we want to put them in jail, we want to put them to death. It's not true. The thing is that, like you said, the reason Republicans are going so extreme, and they're so stupid for doing it, for going so extreme, is because the Democrats smartly played it to where we can carry it up until 9 months, and even after birth, we should be able to abort. They went all that way, and even the Virginian governor, I keep forgetting his name. It wasn't Newsom. I forget what his name was. He's not there anymore. He was a physician, and he said we would put it on the table and make it comfortable till it passed.
I can't listen. I can't disagree with the point you're making from that the end of that. I'm gonna tear apart the first part, but let me just say on the end of that, if you're going after women having these third trimester, 9th month abortions, I think you'll get most Democrats to be willing to give you a fair play on that. Most Democrats are not in favor of a woman, aborting a viable fetus. But you guys are doing way more than that. You're preventing women from.
I agree.
So, and I will tell you this also, because Kellyanne Conway was just on the floor. You know who Kellyanne Conway, Trump's spokesperson for the first half of his first term, was saying that you guys need to back off of these abortion bans. If Kellyanne Conway is saying it, who is simply the grandfather or the godwoman or whatever the hell it is of the Trump campaign, if she's saying it, it's clearly a problem. But let me go to what you said. The strangling part, because I make it sound like Republicans are. You said I make it sound like Republicans are anti-LGBT, anti-women, and want to throw women in jail. I'll tell you why I said that. because the LGBT folks think you're anti-LGBT. Women think you're anti-women. And you got a hell of a lot of Republicans that are talking about throwing women in jail for having abortions. I'm not making this stuff up. This is what I'm hearing. Am I getting it wrong?
But yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm representing right now conservative Republicans. I'm 55 years old, how I look at things and how I feel. And I think there's a lot more that feel the way I do than the way that you're painting them.
So you believe the Republican Party is pro-LGBT?
I don't think they're pro. I think they're pro everybody. The only thing is that we are not pro teaching kids or hurting kids until they're old enough to hurt themselves.
Let me give you some examples. When Obama allowed same-sex marriage, you guys went ape shit. When Obama lit the White House up with rainbow colors to celebrate it, you guys went ape shit. You got a transgender person that does a Bud Light commercial, and you got right-wingers like fucking Kid Rock shooting the damn can. Why? An LGBT...
Let me ask you, did we go ape shit when Trump went over to the Middle East and told them, hey, you need to decriminalize homosexuality?
We're talking about in America, though.
Shit over that?
We're talking about in America. I don't think.
That's what I'm saying. In America, when Trump went to say that to the Middle East and told them in their face, in their property, on their land, televised, and said, you need to decriminalize the LGBTs or the homosexuals, period. You need to decriminalize it. That's way better.
Yeah, but you're talking...
As a Republican, as a conservative, that's more important to me than flying a stupid flag.
You're talking about... But wait a minute, you're talking about something that Trump did. I'm talking about your party as a whole exhibiting all of these anti-LGBT issues. Trump is not the only person that's on the Republican side of the aisle.
But he's the one smoking everybody right now in the primaries. That's why I'm telling you, if women would actually, and I understand the way women are with abortion and stuff like that, because it's their bodies and stuff like that. It's a huge invasion. I understand that. The thing is that if you're going to come, even to men, and even to women, if you're going to come to men and you're going to say, well, I should be able to abort a viable child at 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 months, and you think everything's going to be okay and that we're attacking women, no, that's not what it is. The thing is, there's going to be a happy medium, like Trump said, that we're going to, because I personally think if there's a federal ban brought to his desk, he will veto it.
You don't need it, but wait a minute. I don't necessarily disagree with you that Trump may ban a federal, I don't know for sure, but I'm not going to accuse Trump of promoting a federal ban on abortion, but I will tell you this, if you got 20 states or whatever it is, it don't need to be federal. If you got that much of the country doing this, that's still a major problem. During the civil rights era, every state was not banning civil rights. But the fact is, a lot of them were. You don't need everybody to do this. The states that are doing it.
Yeah, and the states that are doing it, they may be going extreme. I understand that, but explain why. Because they went extreme too, to go and want to kill a child outside of the womb. Now, if that's going to happen, like let's say, I don't
wait, let me stop you and I'll let you continue. Yeah. Where is the evidence that somebody wanted to be okay with banning a child outside of the womb or aborting a child outside of the womb?
You see, handsome, this is the problem. All the people that were for it, all the Democrats, Nancy Pelosi, AOC, whatever.
Evidence. Show me some evidence that Nancy Pelosi.
They're the ones that were, because they kept saying, no matter what, this is, you know what, as a matter of fact, I'll find it and I'll put it up because I remember one or two of them said, it's my body, it doesn't matter. If I want to do it at 9 months, we'll do it. That's what I remember them saying. Now, the thing is, now that it's like controversial, like holy shit, you guys are crazy, then they back off.
Well,
they don't talk about
if you can show me the evidence,
something else, LGBT.
If you can show me the evidence that the folks you were talking about, like if you show me evidence where Nancy Pelosi was in favor of giving an abortion to a child that was outside the womb, I'll concede and apologize to you live on here.
No, I'll give it to you. I don't know if if it's outside the womb, but I guarantee you it was inside the womb within 9 months. But that's what I'll find. I'll find it for you. It's gonna take me a couple days because I work for a living.
All right. Now,
But I will find
what are
it
you
for
trying to
I know
say?
I'm gonna do a little
What are you
bit
trying? You work for a living. What the hell are you trying to say?
Well, because apparently you're a millionaire under Biden, and you have the best life ever,
All right.
ever after Trump.
I gotta move it on, but let me just make it clear to you. I'm working. I am fucking at work right now. Here's my ID.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna call your boss then. I'm gonna call your boss and say you need to give him a raise because he's making way too much money on TikTok with all these likes.
All right.
I'm gonna tell him.
All right, Wolf. You know how we do it. Good talk. Bring me that evidence. Bring me that evidence. All right.
I will.
Okay. Looking into the box. Somebody said this guy is so full of it. Says, read a bug. Okay. So full. Listen, I always make it clear to you folks. You're not going to hear people you always agree with, because I do strongly support free speech on the program. What do I say? I go left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with QAnon. So understand whether someone agrees or disagrees with the host or any one of you in the comments, they're allowed to speak, because I do believe in free speech. So that's how we run the program here. It always is, will be, in its entirety, MAGA friendly, but liberals are welcome as well. Appreciate you folks that are tapping the screen. I'd hope to be around 60,000 likes by now. Some of you folks show your boy a little bit more love, but we'll keep it going. In the comments, Rachel says, but can we at least have manners towards each other? I think we do run a program where we have civilized dialogue from both sides of the aisle, and folks we keep it civil. We don't really throw a lot of so now I can't control what's in the comments. You got to understand like right now we got 1,000 people here, so the comments are going ape shit oftentimes. So and by the way, we run this program without a moderator. We haven't had a moderator 18 months or so since we've been doing this. You and I, when I say we, 18 months. So we make it happen. I do appreciate that. Crystal with the fruit. Shout out to you, Crystal. Thank you. Crystal's always kind. Definitely appreciate you on here. Looking in the comments, waiting on proof of voter fraud. You're going to be waiting for a while. Don't hold your breath unless you have some access to an oxygen tank or something. Brian Smith says, if a man took a oh, shit. C. Osby. Wow. Holiday festive Frosty the Snowman. First time I ever seen that. C. Osby. Much love to you. Brian Smith says, if a man took the child's life, would he get arrested? What the fuck? You guys are making my day with that snowflake shot up. Damn, let me get back to the program. But wow, who sent that? Definitely wanted to reach out to you. That was Frozen Magic. Very appropriate for the name. Thank you for that. Thank you. Going back to the box, Beeman Freestyle was on hold there. One of my subscribers. Always happy to see a few of those. Beeman, good afternoon. What's up with the polls? Biden looks like he sucks in the polls. You got a really loud background.
Give me a second. 1 second. Is that better?
Much better.
All right.
Much better.
So,
talking about Biden's poll
about
numbers.
this a couple of times. We've gone over this a couple of times though.
And it's getting worse.
I don't think he's going to be too much. It's too much damage at this point. I think people got their feet set in. There's not too many people on the fence. Either you're for him or you're not. I go on a couple of these lives, and I'm gonna say this, and this is the God's honest truth to me. I've been on your stuff for a while. I've been watching your lives.
You a subscriber. You a subscriber. I always give you first dibs when you're in the comments. I always love having you on. Definitely. But are the poll numbers accurate? The snow globe, Andy.
No. It's not that. The poll numbers, I don't think you can take them serious. The poll numbers have come out and been wrong so many times.
True.
The thing is that he do better. Absolutely, he can do better. Trump just has, like I was saying this on another live,
it doesn't matter what the man does. It doesn't matter what the man does. He's going to be the nominee. I don't understand why they're still having the only rational thing I can think of why they're having debates. Chris Christie's lost his mind. He hasn't lost his mind, but I think he's just playing a role. None of them have a snowball's chance. They're playing for vice presidency. That is it. That is pretty much it. They're not going to beat out Trump no matter what, unless Trump falls off the face of the earth or cannot be a freaking candidate, cannot be a candidate, period. They find some kind of law. This is a waste of time, a waste of money. I hope to God this isn't taxpayer money being spent on this. But Trump's going to win that.
Is he going to win the election, though? He's also beating Biden, too.
Yeah, that's now. They didn't think Biden was going to win the first time. To me, it's common sense. You can't count your chickens before they hatch. Right now, he's down in the polls. To me, Kamala should be saying something. He should be saying something. Yeah, and these maga, they're sitting there saying to themselves, at first, Joe needs to come out. Joe needs to say something because they need something to feed off of. They need something.
Well, but it ain't just. But wait a minute, Beeman. It's not just MAGA. It's not just MAGA. Us liberals need something to feed. Hold on. Us liberals need something to feed off of too. If he's doing so well, talk to us.
I'm going on that too.
Okay.
I'm going on that too.
Give me what you got.
They need. It's easier to bite somebody's head off if they got their head out. So right now, I think he's tucked under some freaking rock. He hasn't been saying too much. He goes out only when it's absolutely necessary. But as far as giving speeches, as far as really pushing the press, he's not. And he's not that person. I've said it time and time again. Biden is not that person. He's not a good speech person. He's not a good personality. And Trump is. Trump has just got a certain swag about him to the point where he can convince you, no matter what he does, that it's right. Which is ridiculous to me. Have grown people know better, see what's going on, but flip it, as the guy that was on here before, flip it in their heads that no matter what this man does, the country was better.
Yeah.
If you have guys, and I'm gonna leave it like this: if you have guys that are out here that are making six figures, right? Okay. Let's just say, just for instance, just truckers. All right, they're making six figures. They're making a bunch of freaking money. But they're sitting there talking about how much eggs are, how much gas is. They're complaining about the economy as far as they're spending too much money. Now, when unemployment was at its highest and they were unemployed when Trump was leaving out of office because nobody was hiring, they had said that it was nothing. It was, he's still the best thing since sliced bread. You're unemployed with 3 DWIs.
Yeah, well, I can't. The DWIs is a different problem. But wait a minute, though. But when Trump left office, we were under a pandemic. They're looking at the first 3 years of Trump's administration. Things were economically pretty damn good in this country.
Okay, and of course he inherited that from Obama. We can. I'm
not arguing with that. I'm not arguing with that, but
You said it before too. I'll be on here too much to know.
Yeah, but let me follow it up. I won't. I'll let you keep going. I'll let you keep going. But when it comes to Trump inheriting a good economy from Obama, I am not disagreeing with that at all. However, what I do have a problem with is pretending that the good numbers under Trump, he deserves no credit because he inherited. He could have destroyed that economy. If he had destroyed it, we'd be hammering him for that. But if he maintains it, he gets no credit at all.
Okay. All right. Since we got to go there, I'm going to take a hit. I'm going to take this hit. And try to explain it to the people in the back.
Let me have it.
You know, but I'm going to explain it to them. Okay. So under Trump, they try to say, well, it was a pandemic that did it. When Trump first got into office in 2014, you can go look this up. Obama had a whole press conference talking about the Spanish flu, swine flu, things of this nature, and having a budget for the next pandemic, the next thing to hit hard. All right.
Trump didn't follow the rules. I know Trump did not follow that plan.
Trump took. Okay. All right. So if you took money away from that, and discarded it and put it somewhere else, and now you have no money to fight the pandemic, and say on national TV, who saw this coming? When after a while, it just didn't hit all of a sudden. After 3 years of people dying, prices going up, things of this nature, and you basically did nothing, but you get credit for what's it called? What was his plan? Trump's plan?
Operation Warp Speed.
Okay, where did he get the money from? The money that Obama already was putting into the program and just
Wait a minute. Here's where I don't disagree that Obama left a nice blueprint for Trump, but I mean, to not give Trump credit for anything good that he inherited from Obama when he had the ability to screw it up is not a fair way to judge Trump, because you're basically saying because you got a good economy, the only grade you can get is either neutral or an F. You cannot get a good grade economically. That's not fair.
No. I'm not saying that he doesn't get credit for the first 3 years. No credit at all. What I'm saying is that the economy crashed when he left.
Yeah.
Now let me explain something with most of these Cowboys fans out here. All right, Jerry left. Right, he had a great team. Right. The reason the new guy came in and won is because the team that Jerry built from scratch, from nothing, was a great team. Now you take that same team over a 3-year span, and at the end of your span or at the end of your term, it takes a shit for whatever reason. You're still the coach. You're still the quarterback. You're still in charge. So no, regardless of what happens, if it's your company, and that's what people are steady saying. Oh, he's a great businessman. He's not a politician. He's a businessman. If your business takes a shit, guess whose fault it is?
They're going to blame it on the businessman.
That's all I'm saying, man.
All right, okay.
I'm just common sense.
All right. I don't, something, I'm not pretending, though, when it comes to politics, I'm not going to act as though all voters use common sense. I do agree with you. Some folks do not do that. But, and I do agree with you when you open up and say there are some things whereas Trump can do wrong and folks still see right. But I'm assuming we do that on the left as well. I do appreciate you coming on, though. I wish Biden, like I told the last caller, I wish Biden could orate the messages that you and my other caller did, or at the very least, hire somebody that can. Hire somebody, because I'm looking at television. It's Nikki Haley. It's, well, Chris Christie a little bit. It's certainly Ron DeSantis. You got all these groups on behalf of Trump. All I see on TV about Biden is bad. Need to get out the messages you're talking about. You can't just sit back and let all of your detractors judge and state what you are. Biden needs to get this message out. No matter how it happens, he needs to get the message out.
Okay, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get a lot of flack for it. The Nation of I'm gonna go way left. Nation of Islam. Okay, the person in charge, because I don't want to get flagged. The person in charge of
Louis Farrakhan ain't gonna flag you. I used to live across the street from Louis Farrakhan. Go ahead.
Okay. So Louis Farrakhan. Okay. So, all right. Let's take Malcolm X for instance. All right. Everything that he said, everything that he came out his mouth at the end, he said, I get all my knowledge. I get all my knowledge from my leader. He's a great speaker.
Elijah Muhammad? Who is his leader?
Elijah Muhammad. Muhammad. He's a great speaker. Okay, I can say it. All right, just making sure. You'd be surprised what you can get flagged for. So, if you need somebody like that can speak to the people on your behalf, that can motivate the people, that's not a bad idea either. You just gotta find it.
All right.
He hasn't found it. And Kamala is not it. Kamala is not going to move nobody.
I agree.
Somebody fresh, somebody new that can, which is, that's a simple answer, right? But
it's accurate.
He doesn't, that's it. He doesn't have to say a word.
Well, he don't have that person, so until he get him, he does need to say a word. Beeman, I got to move it on. I'm not disagreeing with you, but until he gets somebody else to say something, he needs to do it. There's not enough messaging coming out from the Biden administration. Appreciate you coming on, man.
We agree, brother.
Absolutely. And I looked in the comments. Maurice Staten says, everything Donald Trump did is bad. That's not true. Do you think Trump 4 years in office, didn't do one good thing for America. Now, that's not true. Hell, even Biden is now starting to follow up with the wall. Nothing. I don't think there's any president in history that served for 4 years and did not do a damn thing good. I mean, there's a lot of them we don't favor. And I will push back from the standpoint that President Trump said the same thing to Jesse Waters of Fox News about Obama. Jesse Waters was interviewing Trump and asked him, did Obama do anything good for this country? And Trump did say, no, not at all. Not one thing good. I think those are terrible answers. I do. And it's really beneath any presidential candidate to say something that awful about his predecessor. But Trump did say that about Obama. Not one thing good for the country at all. When Trump could not even repeal and replace Obamacare because too many Republican constituents are using the damn program. Not one thing good at all. I don't like that rhetoric. Looking in the comments. And what did he do? Get the richest people get richer and his family, says Adrian. Yeah, there's some validity to that. Getting rich off the presidency is all bad. Who doesn't do that? Who doesn't do that? You name a president that did not get richer off the presidency. I will give you this. I believe President Trump is probably the only one that did not get richer off of the presidency. It's not because he was a great guy. It's because he got in so much trouble. He lost customers. He lost respect. He lost credibility with a large segment of America. And I understand MAGA may not like this comment, but how many folks have said blacks loved Trump before he became president? The hip hop community loved Trump before he became president. They don't love him now. Trump lost a lot of folks that would have patronized his businesses and bought his books and would have been customers of his while he became president. So I do believe President Trump is probably one of the first presidents that actually may have lost, and certainly the lawsuits. Oh my God, the lawsuits are insane. So certainly I do believe President Trump probably is the first president to lose money while being president. And somebody asked, Fidel Jimenez said, where did you get your numbers from? Trump's got to be paying about $1 million a month in legal fees. Easily. Probably about $1 million a month or more in legal fees. I mean, it's got to be insane. $12 million a year to those law firms, easily. Probably more than that. So let's start with those numbers. We'll just go with those for now. We can probably assume Letitia James in New York that is asking for, what is she asking for? $250 million? Remember the Freeman, Ruby Freeman? They were asking for $47 million out of Giuliani. Look how that turned out. Now you look at President Trump, unlike Rudolph Giuliani, he's even pissed off the judge in his case. What's the chances that Letitia James will actually do just like Ruby Freeman and win way more money than she's asking for? You want to ask for numbers? Start with those. Just start with those, and that should take you where you need to go. Going back to the box, I appreciate you folks that are tapping the screen. Let's go for 75,000. We got 900, nearly 1,000 of you folks in here. Show your boy some love. Tap the screen. Get your boy likes up. Going straight to the box. Definitely want to speak to the one and only Andy. Trump is getting trounced in the polls. What say you, Andy? Or better yet, Biden is getting trounced in the polls. By Trump, by Nikki Haley, by Ron DeSantis. What say you, Andy?
It's too early, and Trump has already done the damage for himself. He said that women need to be punished for abortions in 2016. I mean, they said, do you think there needs to be some sort of punishment? And Trump said yes. And they said for the woman, and Trump said yes.
But was he talking about late term or some of this?
Backpedal now, but we know how he feels.
Yeah. You think he was talking about, these 8 and 9 month abortions, or are we talking about abortions, period?
They're not having those. They've come out. There was one doctor who was committing a crime and was arrested for it. But anyone that's having one in that later date, most doctors will tell you those are all medical. The child was non-viable.
Real quick in the comments, I want you to respond to this. Life is Great says 3 words. Trump is God. How do you respond? Because I had a guy in line at the Trump rally look me in the eye and tell me Trump was appointed by God. Now, I wasn't debating anybody at a Trump rally. I was there to hear what he had to say, but I did have somebody tell me also that Trump was, appointed by God to lead this country. In the comments, Trump is God. How do you respond to that? We'll go back to the topic, but I saw that and that stood out.
That the evangelicals are the easiest to brainwash.
All right. So at the end
I'm just telling you. That's how he got elected in the first place. Was he sold the Supreme Court to the evangelical party?
Yeah.
So they could overturn Roe. He did exactly what he wanted to. Women are not going to forget that his whole first presidency was based on the fact that he sold our right to privacy.
A lot of women Republicans, Andy. Andy, it's a lot of women Republicans out there, even with this abortion issue. There's a lot of women on the. I went, like I said, at the rally, no shortage of women there. It's a lot of women voting for Trump.
Well, I will tell you this. I am seeing more and more women wake up as they see the case like in Ohio where the girl is going to be abused with a abusive corpse case.
Yeah.
Like the lady in Texas. As these cases become louder and louder, and we're a year away. And that's just the first year. In another year, look how much devastation just that one policy will have done.
Yeah. Here's something that's a talking point. And I definitely think that one policy is going to hurt. But in regards to rolling back Roe v. Wade that you and I are discussing, in the comments, Trisha states that they actually overturned Roe v. Wade under Biden. Brian!
Trump put that court into office to do that. And Trump did it through lying to the Congress that we have now. They all said, is Roe settled law? Every last one of them said yes. Every last one of them lied under oath.
Yeah, but how do you respond to somebody who say that? You got an echo. Did you change something?
Supreme Court doing the job that Donald Trump told him to. You just said that Trump needed credit for stuff that he did that belonged to Obama.
Yeah.
Is that not,
Yeah.
What's the difference there?
I don't disagree. Listen. Okay, you got a mad echo, Andy. Did you change something with your audio?
No, actually, I haven't.
Okay, I might have to because I'm echoing so bad. I'm having a hard time communicating, which I might have to bring you down and maybe bring you back up because we got a major echo that just happened. I don't know. It was working for a moment and then it switched. So I do apologize, Andy. But I even see people in the comments referring to the echo as well. But when I'm talking, as opposed to hearing you for your feedback, I'm just hearing myself. And some would say I already listen to myself talk too damn much. Appreciate you folks tapping the screen. Definitely get your likes up. Program is always will be MAGA friendly. MAGA are always my preferred guest. We're talking about Biden's dismal poll numbers. I don't think there's even a liberal poll that show Biden in the lead right now. Now, my last caller stated that it's too early. I'm willing to concede that. Obama was losing to Romney at this point in the polls. And we know Hillary Clinton was going to win 2016 by every stretch of the imagination. So it certainly could be early. But he's losing to Trump, Ron DeSantis, and getting really beaten hard by Nikki Haley. I've said this before. Even though I tend to lean left on a lot of social issues, I'm not a Republican hater. I think there's some good issues about the Republican Party, but I've said this before, that folks on the right don't see the true victor. I absolutely believe Nikki Haley would beat Biden. I really do believe Nikki Haley could beat Biden. Now, I will say that plus or minus Roe v. Wade. I do believe Roe v. Wade is a wild card that's going to really be painful in a lot of races. I really think a lot of, particularly the down ballot races, because now you certainly in these Republican states, that's not going to be good. I think even Trump said it correctly. Rolling back Roe v. Wade was a bad idea. I've tried to do a couple shows on Roe v. Wade, and a lot of my beloved MAGA in the comments, bad topic, change the subject, let's go to something. Even folks who actually are in favor of protecting the sanctity of life realize this is bad. Because even in the Republican states, they're voting against it. Like, you're going too far with it. So I do believe that if that wasn't on the table, Nikki Haley could beat President Biden. I do. Maybe I'm wrong, but I do believe it. Looking in the comments, Hat should say, "Make America Swifties again." I don't quite get that. This hat should say, "Make America Swifties again." Going back to the box, I don't know what happened with my boxer. Looking in the comments, how did you like his rally, says Tim Beers. I went for the energy for the Trump rally. Tim Beers on YouTube. Hang on a second, Moo. I like politics, both sides of the aisle. Watch a lot of right-wing media as well. And I wanted to see I didn't think it was bad. I mean, for the most part, Trump is kind of like any other performer, whether you're talking about a rock star, comedian, whatever. He's literally going across the country playing his greatest hits. So if you go to one, you've really went to all of them. It's the same stuff over and over again. So it really wasn't that shocking. Most of the stuff he said at the rally I've seen on Newsmax or OAN or Fox News, but I wanted to see the energy of the people. We did have our own little version of QAnon shaman, people with face paint, draped in flag, Trump flags and things. It's pretty, compared to, I went to an Obama rally in 2012. The devotion to Trump is unusually strong. The energy there is unusually strong. Moo, good afternoon. Poll numbers, talk to me. You've been listening.
What's up, man? What's going on?
Not much at all. Good to have you back.
Sure. I mean, oh yeah, absolutely, man. It's always good to be here. It's too early to look at polls, and they haven't been very accurate the past couple times. So I don't even know. Polls are more like something for people to argue about at this point than something that's actually true or accurate, right?
Yeah.
It's more just to get people excited. Oh my God, my guy's losing, my guy's winning. We haven't even held the election yet.
Yeah, but all of them, even the liberal polls, normally the polls, you got Rasmussen on the right, Quinnipiac on the right, you got left-wing polls. Some would say that Reuters and things like that. But all of the polls have Trump in front.
Polls, you got this poll, that poll, sure.
But none of them. Yeah, but none of them, even like MSNBC polls and stuff, show Trump beating Biden.
Yeah.
They all wrong.
I hear you, man, and a lot of polls said Hillary would win, and then a lot of polls said there would be a red wave. I mean, I just don't think polls are accurate if they ever were. Like I said, nowadays it's more for something to look at and argue with your friends about, right? Or people who maybe used to be your friends, depending, right? So I don't look at the polls right now.
All right, but do you think that Biden, like I've been talking about in this live with several callers, do you think Biden is really getting his messaging out properly, his accomplishments, what he thinks he may have done for the country?
No, see that he's not doing correctly, and he's probably not gonna, because he's not an active guy, right? And Democrats in general are bad at messaging. They've always been bad at messaging.
I thought Obama was excellent. I thought Obama was excellent at messaging.
Yeah, Obama's like the exception to the rule, right? Obama was very charismatic. He was very popular. He also had the, he was the first black president. That was a lot of weight.
I don't know,
so
Moo.
He had a lot of things going for him.
I don't know, Moo. We say Obama was the exception. I seen Bill Clinton on Arsenio Hall playing the saxophone. I feel your pain. I thought Bill Clinton was doing a damn good job at it too, though. Maybe I'm old, but
Bill Clinton was the demise. Bill Clinton was the demise of the Democrat Party. He is terrible. He's the one that turned them into corporatists, my dude. That was the demise of the Democrat Party right there.
But in terms of, now you're a progressive. We've talked many times. You're further left than, say, the likes of Biden or Clinton. But in terms of the traditional Democratic base, Bill Clinton is still highly favored. He's probably right behind Obama, probably in the second place.
Oh, I don't. I mean, maybe. I mean, he holds no favor with me. I know the guy hung out with Trump and Epstein. I know
but you're a progressive. But you are a progressive. You're not a You're not a traditional Democrat. You're progressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
That's why.
Yeah, you're right.
That's why. Just like a lot of folks.
I would like to address is.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would actually like to address the abortion issue. That a couple of your callers said it's a good thing it went back to the states, right? So really, what Republicans are saying is it doesn't matter whether it's the federal or state government. Republicans want the government to come into your life, right? It doesn't matter that it's the state government; it's still government, right?
Hey, hang on one second. Hold on. Hey, wait. Let me just interrupt you real quick. I'll let you continue with that point. But I just saw on YouTube, forgive someone said, everyone get off YouTube now. We are under attack. What? That ain't based on them in reality, is it? Just for you folks that are watching, let your boy know. Ain't nothing going on that we need to know about. All right, continue. Go ahead.
No, you're fine, man. So they want the government to come into your life and make your medical decisions. And, you remember when Republicans always talked about death panels when it came to Obamacare and when it comes to Medicare for all? Well, Republicans have the death panels now. They're the ones that set them up, right? They're now determining whether women die or live. Right, they have their little death panels in Texas and Mississippi and all those states where they don't care if women die. And they don't care if babies die either, honestly, man. I don't see any of these guys talking about all the babies in Palestine that are dying right now. Right? They don't care.
I wanna push back and say that your comment that Republicans don't care about women dying is ridiculous. But that actually, I mean, when you look at what happened with what is her name, Kate Cox or whatever. I mean, they really didn't care if she died. I mean, there's no way to argue with that. I want to argue with it. I do want to argue with it.
They don't care if the baby. Yeah, I mean, they don't care if the babies die either, right? They're not concerned about the little babies in Africa that are getting offed every day by horrible warlords. They don't care about the babies in Palestine. They don't care about the babies in Lebanon, right? They don't care about babies. It's a fucking farce, right? It's something that these Christian nut jobs can go after and latch onto because they're a bunch of nut jobs that want to control women. But they don't actually care about saving anybody.
Then why are so many women voting Republican?
Oh, okay. Well, why did some black people try to get rid of the Underground Railroad? Why did some Jewish people work for Hitler?
Yeah, but
we've gone through this a couple times.
Let me respond to that, though.
Have people who act against their own.
No, but this is different. This is different, Mood. I'll tell you why. You're right. Some black folks even fought for the Confederates, but you're talking about a tiny percentage. There's a large percentage of women voting Republican. It's way more than any of those, Jews fighting for Hitler, all this stuff you're talking about. This is way bigger than that. There's a large percentage of women in this country voting Republican.
Well, okay, then I'll put it into this perspective for you, right? Trump already had 4 years in office, and he caused the inflation, right? He increased the tax, or he reduced the taxes on rich people. His tax cuts are about to expire in another year, and then you're not going to have as much money in your pocket, right? The dude tried to ship auto jobs from the Midwest to the South, right? He got all kinds of fucked up money from the Middle East, which is why I don't understand why you said he made no money off the presidency. He and his family made a ton of money off the presidency.
I didn't say his family. I didn't say his daughter made a mint. His daughter and Jared Kushner.
My dude, who do you think that money goes to?
10% to the wait. Are you saying 10? Are you saying 10% to the big guy?
I'm saying more than that, probably all to the big guy. But to sit here and say that he made no money off the presidency when his daughter's making deals, his son-in-law's making deals, his sons are making deals, he's selling golf balls with the presidential emblem on them, he's selling fucking NFTs, cards, all kinds of bullshit. The dude made money off the presidency.
I don't, okay, Moo, we can certainly agree to disagree, because I'm gonna tell you, he's pretty much getting kicked completely out of New York City. You talk about golf balls and NFTs, but the nation's largest city, the man had businesses everywhere. They're kicking him completely out of New York City. You don't see no loss of money in that?
Good. I hope he loses everything he ever had, my dude. Okay. I hope he loses it all. No one deserves it more than him.
All right.
I'm sure that even if he wasn't president, that he would fucking lose it all anyway, because every business he's ever had has gone under, and he's gone bankrupt. He's one of the shittiest businessmen to ever live.
You really believe that? The man got his own jet?
Of course. Listen, so before the dude got that reality show where he fires people, which is ridiculous. I don't know why y'all are entertained by people getting fired, losing their livelihoods. That's ridiculous to me. But before he got that TV show, he was broke. He was done. That TV show literally saved his ass.
I don't know.
He was out of commission.
I don't know, Moo. I don't
You
think.
need to know. He was financially destitute.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't think. I mean, he still had the jet.
You don't need to see it. It's a fact. The dude was broke as hell. All of his businesses went under. He just gone bankrupt for like the sixth fucking time. And then NBC offers him that stupid ass TV show that puts him back in business. If it wasn't for that, there would be no Donald Trump right now. He'd be a bum on the street that Republicans would be walking by saying, "Hey, you better pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you dumb orange shit."
The man has his own jet. Broke? You really think he's broke? Before The Apprentice, you thought he was broke?
I mean, dude, listen, all the money he has is imported, right? It's imported from Russians who gave him money to let them stay in, what is it, Little Russia down in New York there. The deal he did with Felix Sater for that building back there, right? Little Soho, Trump Soho. They call it Little Russia because he lets all the fucking Russian mobsters stay in that hotel. And they pay him for that, dude. All the money he has is from the Russians.
I'm going to...
A huge majority of the Republican Party is taking money from Russia. Y'all just don't know about it.
I'm going to respond with what user 274 in the comments said. I would like to be his broke. If Trump is broke, damn it, give me that. Now in the comments through our lives it said you just sound like you don't like Trump at all.
You would owe a bunch of Russian gangsters money?
I
don't like Trump at all. Why do I need to like him? He's a big orange fuck. Why would I like him?
Well, at least you're honest. That's what we're looking for.
Why would I like him?
All right.
What's to like about him? What, so he can grab my mom by the pussy? What? What would I like about him?
Well, in the comments, one more time, Gen X said, don't hate the player, Moo. Hate the game. Which is true. I mean, you don't like how he's gotten his money, but...
I don't need to... Sure, y'all should hate the game too, right? Y'all should hate the game too, because Trump made his money through various tax schemes, stock schemes, real estate schemes, which were allowed by the government that y'all keep voting in. So y'all should be mad at him too, but you're not because you're in a cult, right?
All right.
So the things that he does, you praise him for, right? But you'll kick George Santos out of Congress for the same shit, right? And that's the only lie that Santos never told, right? When he told the truth when he stood up there and he said, all these other congressmen and politicians are doing the same thing as me. And they are. So they'll praise certain politicians for it, like Trump, but then condemn others like Santos for doing the same shit.
All right, fair enough, Moo. And I will follow up with the George Santos talk, telling the goods on everybody else. In the words of Rick Ross, Jose Canseco's just snitching because he finished. George Santos would not be telling the beans if George Santos was still in Congress. Now that he's gotten kicked out, he want to snitch on everybody. All right, Moo. Always a pleasure. Anytime. Hey.
Y'all have a good one.
You too, man. Tell it like it is. All right, looking in the comments, Win Moo says Desmadroso. I can't even pronounce all that, but fair enough. Moo comes correct. Moo is gonna be Moo. I don't care how much the price of beef is. Moo is still gonna be Moo. But you know what Trump's businesses are, right? I don't believe we know. No, we don't know all of what Trump's businesses are. I mean, the guy has a lot of international connections. I'm sure Trump has businesses that we don't know about. Hell, Rudolph Giuliani probably has money out there that we don't know about that Ruby Freeman and company will never see. No, you don't get to Trump's level and you're completely transparent. He didn't even want to release his damn taxes. Does he look like somebody that's going to let you know everything? You don't know what he talked about with Vladimir Putin. You don't know what the letter says that Kim Jong-un gave him. No, you don't know all his businesses. I'm not saying that maybe I wouldn't do the same shit too if I was at that level, but I'm not going to pretend like Trump is a bastion of transparency. That's not true. He roasted Trump like a bag of peanuts. Okay, fair enough. You don't get to Trump's level without stepping on others, says Gregory Allen. That is 100% correct. And that's the difference in how liberals see wealthy folks versus how Republicans see wealthy folks. Liberals are highly skeptical of wealthy folks. They do believe a lot of the wealthy has mistreated others to get that ill-gotten fortune. Folks on the right believe you worked hard, you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps, you were born with nothing, and all of a sudden now you're a billionaire. The right is far more friendly to folks with money. I just do believe that. Going to the box, we'll keep it moving. CEO of Common Sense. Welcome to the program. If Trump was as rich as he claims, why is MAGA paying all his legal bills? Because he can get it from them. I mean, would I pay for anything if somebody else was going to pay for it for me? Because they're going to give it to him. We'll keep it moving. Looking in the comments, back in it to win it, says Cheeky Chops. All right, that was locker room talk. I don't know what you're talking about. My last caller there, Tim Beers, locker room talk. I don't know. My box is acting up. Real quick, we're looking in the comments for my last caller because they want him to run. Fair enough. A depressed alcoholic. That name, holy shit. Handsome. When are you going to topic Project 2025? America needs to know about it. That is a good show. That is a good show. The hell of, obviously folks on the right are denying that this is even a real subject. I don't know if I can discuss topic 2025 without bringing up some right-wing conspiracies as well, because they're going to say, well, if you're willing to believe topic 2025, there's a hell of a lot of things the right is saying the liberals are going to do that would have to be brought up. But it is a worthy discussion. SG says TikTok will shut down Project 2025 for misinformation. Probably so. I can see where that might happen because it is theoretical. I mean, folks will suggest there's emails, there's documents out there talking about it, but I can see where it could get caught in the misinformation bubble. Grabbing the P word is locker room stuff. Yeah. Listen, let me just say something. I'll go back to the box, tap the screen. We might be to get 100,000. Certainly could get 90 something if you guys let your thumbs be active for your boy. In regards to grabbing them by the pussy, I've said this several times. I'm the handsome liberal, but I ain't working with no $1 billion. I can tell you for damn sure, if I was born with the wealth of President Trump, literally rich from the day he was born, you don't have to lie on your dick if you're a billionaire. You don't make up stories when you're a billionaire. You don't have to lie and pretend like you've been with women you haven't when you're a billionaire. There's not a single story a billionaire can tell you about being with women that he can't actually accomplish. The idea that a billionaire is going around lying on his dick, that is 6 foot tall, and actually women found Trump attractive. Why would he have to make up stories? It's not locker room talk. If Trump says he had 20 women at one time butt naked in a pool, and he has his own damn jet in a skyscraper with his name on it, damn it, those women were there in that pool butt-ass naked. There's no way in hell a billionaire is lying on his dick. Now, I get it. It was not politically advantageous to admit a horrible story like that in the middle of a campaign. So MAGA, Trump supporters, stepped up and, fixed locker room talk on the comment. I get it. They were trying to defend him. I understand that. But a billionaire don't lie on his dick. The guy is like 70 years old, regularly frequented the Playboy Mansion. We can talk about him hanging around Epstein as well, but I'm not going to go into that. Hung around Bill Clinton. You think Bill Clinton ain't getting no ass either? Hung around Bill Cosby. You think Bill Cosby ain't never had a little poo nanny on his... Come on now. A billionaire. From day one, he was rich. Lying on his dick? Really? If you believe that, yeah, you are willing to purchase some oceanfront property out in the middle of Nevada. I get it. No, he ain't lying on his dick. I get that it sounds awful to say you were grabbing women like that, but in reality, celebrity, unlimited finance, there are women that would let you do all of that. I truly believe that. I ain't never been that wealthy, but I do believe that. Billionaire lying on his dick. Where does that happen at? I don't even think Danny DeVito has to lie on his dick. There's no way that is laughable to me. Let me go back to the box. You guys got me cracking up. Locker room talk my ass. Going back to the box. I'm not that girl. All right, then. So Madonna would say, who's that girl? Oh, no. Oh, yeah, Madonna. All right. I'm not that girl. Good afternoon.
I'm using my wife's account.
Oh shit! I was about to say you straight up LGBT.
I'm so sorry. I misjudge you. But listen, I've been listening to you, and I am a Trump person.
Okay.
I'm a Trump. And I love listening to stuff we've already discussed. He's already been president, and people are bringing up old stuff like backroom talk. That's old news.
Whoa! You do realize folks are bringing up Biden in the crime bill and shit he did back in the 1970s. What are you talking about?
Old news on that too.
All right. Okay. Keep going.
But Trump did a great job.
All right. Fair enough. And then Roman said he did a great job. But let's go back to the polls now. Trump is trouncing Biden in the polls. You think the polls are accurate or is it too early?
I think the polls are absolutely accurate.
Well, so you do
I think Biden has done a bad job. He's not going to lose on Trump's crime. He's going to lose because of the migrant situation.
What about the abortion issue? That's not going to hurt the right at all?
No, I'm just talking about Biden. He's going to lose.
No, I get it. I get you. We're talking about what's going to hurt Biden. Will the abortion issue help Biden?
Roe versus Wade was brought back to the states. It's up to the states to be able to do the job.
Okay, so let me rephrase it.
Job, then move.
Right.
If the state. This is Snuggles, okay? All right, stop it.
All right, hey, I get it, but let me.
But listen. Hey, the states have to handle the abortion issues, all right? And it's up to the women to conduct themselves the way it should be conducted. All right.
Elaborate. Wait a minute. I want you to elaborate. And by the way, folks, we're so close. Tap the screen. Get your boy to 100,000. Let's make this happen. Women have to conduct themselves. Talk to me. Elaborate. Explain what the hell that means.
Well, if there's such a big problem in the United States, and it's such a problem, then we got to be careful. But we have to
careful how?
When it comes to incest or rape, that's a different story.
Define careful. What do you mean by careful?
We have to be careful on when
you
it comes to incest.
You can say it.
Okay, when it comes to that, that's a different story. But now that people that are complaining about it at the state level, it's time for
wait, Snuggles. You're playing double dutch. You're skipping. They have to be careful when it comes to that. What is that? Let's flow. Give me what you got. What are you talking about?
I mean, I'm not. If somebody was raped or through incest, they have a right to be able to make the judgments of what they want to do for their bodies. All right?
Not in Texas.
Well, that's what I mean. It's down to the state levels, and if those states don't provide that at that state level, then they should move. It's not the problem anymore of the federal government.
So if a state does not care about a woman that is, as you say,
the state's issue.
Let me follow through. Let me toss it to you. You can knock it out the park. You're telling me so that if your state does not care that if you're a victim of a rape or incest or even maybe potentially going to die during labor, then you should just move. That you're okay with that?
Well, let me ask you a question in return. Can they get it done in Texas? Can they get it done in Texas? Yes or no, right?
No.
So then what do they have to do then?
Vote. They have to vote the motherfuckers out of office. How about that?
Absolutely. We're saying the same thing.
No, we not. You're telling them to move. You're telling them to relocate.
They can't get it done. If they can't do it right now, so they'll have to move. Right? Or they'll have to make their adjustments the way it is. It's sad, and I'm not saying I agree with anything. I'm not agreeing to that thing, but it went from federal to the state level.
What if they can't move? What if they cannot afford to move? What if they cannot afford to move?
I don't know what to say on that, but what I'm saying is it's at the state level. There's people. That's just what it is. Okay, so you'll have to move, or you'll have to adjust your life, or adjust the way you do things sexually, both men and women, and you'll have to do it because we're all adults here, and we can't baby talk this shit. Just move or do something to adjust to your situation. And it's unless these states can decide to do something, it's the state's fault, not the federal government's fault.
So then I have to ask you again, because you're right, it's the state's fault, not the federal government fault. But at the end of the day, this would not have happened without the federal government. Without Trump doing what he did with the Supreme Court at a federal level.
Trump do it? Did Trump do it, or did Congress pass it through?
This doesn't happen without Trump, Snuggles. It does not happen without Trump.
Did Congress pass it through, though?
Yeah, Trump got the ball rolling for all these other entities.
It's not all Trump. It went through Congress and it went to the states. You can blame Congress on that.
So you're saying Trump has no skin in the game at all with rolling back a Roe v. Wade?
Can I ask you why?
You didn't answer that. You didn't answer that. You can ask me whatever, but you didn't answer
I'm just
that.
wondering, we're 3 years in here. Did Biden bring it back?
You didn't answer the question.
Hey, I want to bring it back to you guys. I'm Biden, and I want to bring it back. Why didn't Biden bring it back? Why are we blaming Trump?
Why didn't Biden bring what back?
Trump for Biden's issue.
Why
if I'm
didn't
blaming Trump? Then I blame Biden for not bringing it back.
bring
Don't call
it?
me ignorant in the comment section.
How could Biden bring? What do you mean bring it back?
Biden can do an executive order. He can do anything the hell he wants.
You
He's president of the
can't.
United
You know
States.
you can. You can't do an executive order to legalize abortion. You can't do that. And the Supreme Court gave it back to the states. You can't. He can't just do that. Where are you getting that from?
Why? He bypassed the Supreme Court trying to get the student loans passed, right? He bypassed that decision.
In the only
So-
in
so- so-
Supreme
so- so-
the
so-
Supreme
so-
Court, Snuggles, the Supreme Court is the reason why his decision didn't go
Right,
through.
but he still got some things passed to get the student loans canceled. There's many student loans that were canceled. So not all student loans were able to, that was denied, but he was able to get some of the he bypassed whatever the Supreme Court did, and he got some of that student loans canceled.
So let me make sure I'm getting this clear without you asking a question to a question. You're telling me Biden, by some executive order, could have restored women's abortion rights?
Absolutely.
Never heard that before. All right. I don't believe it, but if I'm wrong, I'll concede the point. I don't know how in the hell he could have done that, and if so, why he would not have done it, or why women wouldn't be calling on him to do it. I don't believe that's accurate, Snugs. I would tell you to.
But if it's down to the state levels, don't you think it's up to the states to be able to make those decisions?
Yeah, that's where we're at right now. I don't.
Quit doing the blame game. Trump's gone for 3 years now.
Okay, let me say this. Let me say why you're getting pushback on that, at least from yours truly. America has a tremendous history at the state's level of oppressing people. Generally, when you hear folks say the state's rights to do something, it's usually to take folks' rights away in some category. I don't want to serve gay people or something like that. It's usually to take rights away from people. As a minority, states' rights has an atrocious history, at least in my opinion. But if you're saying that Trump,
Well, now instead of putting it on Trump, I would put it on the states because they're not doing their job.
all right, that's a fair point. And at the end of the day, if you're putting it on the states and you want to roll back the damage the states are doing, you would admit that you need to vote blue then, right?
Well, do whatever you have to do as long as that state can make it better for women's rights. It doesn't matter if it's a blue or red state.
But we know in the red states, the only way you're going to stop them from banning abortion is to vote blue. Is that not the truth? You can say
in
it.
that state.
Huh?
In that state. In that state.
In those Alabama, Florida, freaking Louisiana, Tennessee, Kentucky, we're talking about Texas. The only way you're going to stop what they're doing to abortion rights is to vote blue. Is that not accurate?
Well, absolutely.
That's all we need to know. All right, Snuggles.
So really quick, are you voting Trump? Because obviously 33% for Biden is not too good.
Yeah, man. Now that the women are going through this, I need somebody to tell me how this is a good thing, even if it's only one state that is willing to let women die for the sake of the abortion ban. I need somebody in the right to tell me why I should support that. That's all I'm asking.
What if Trump comes in and tries to fix things up?
Listen, we're less than a year from the election. Trump is holding speeches all over the country. Let me hear him say he's going to get rid of that. I'm not hearing it. I'm hearing him celebrate it.
Well, we'll see on that one, too.
All right.
My good friend Shay, she's in the crowd. She hurt her ankle. Shay, I'm wishing you well on your ankle. I'm sorry, I saw her in the crowd.
All right, Snugs. Always a
But
pleasure.
listen, hey, Snuggles has been winning anyway. It doesn't really matter.
You haven't got the guy convicted. This is 3 years in, handsome liberal. You got that hat hanging from behind there. Just put the hat on because Trump's winning.
I gotta go. And I will say this. Now, Snuggles is suggesting Trump is quote unquote winning. Other than the polls, I would push back and say where? Courts. He's losing case after case. Whether you think they're a witch hunt or not, we can discuss that. But he's doing poorly in all of his court cases. He's not walking out of any court bragging about how he prevailed. It's just not happening. It started from the election cases on. He's losing. All of his supporting cast are doing very poorly in court. Now, at the end of the day, Trump may emerge victorious. I'm not going to say that there's no chance he couldn't win the election, but I'm just telling you right now, the trajectory of President Trump does not look good. It doesn't. I mean, he's not winning any of these cases. Now, at the end of the day, he may survive all 91 federal charges. Could happen. But if you just look at the statistical probability of anyone surviving 91 federal charges in multiple different jurisdictions with the conviction rate of success of the federal government, you'd have to understand you're playing the lottery. Now, President Trump has infinite wealth, a large amount of support, so some folks believe he is capable of doing the incapable. Teflon Don. That's possible. That is absolutely possible. I'm only going on statistics. Anybody else that if I knew, even if I knew all charges against them was bullshit, 91 charges in multiple jurisdictions, I would be telling that family member, friend, whatever the case is, I know this is bullshit, but you need to really start preparing for the possibility you're going to be doing a bid. I mean, 91 charges, and they got a 90-something% success rate. You got a ton of your lieutenants, friends, associates, hires testifying against you. You gonna emerge out of all of this victorious? How does that work? If this was not Trump going through this, I think everybody would be saying that the likelihood of him facing some convictions is very high. Now, it might not be 91 convictions. I don't expect that. Plead out of this, take a plea on that, have some charges compressed. That's likely to happen, but beating them all, the only reason why folks believe that he will be victorious is because of who he is. There's not another human on earth that you would believe that's going to beat all of these charges. It's just we're giving Trump some kind of godlike powers or something like that. Maybe not. But I'm going with logic and statistical probability. It doesn't look good. It's simple put. It doesn't look good. And I see in the comments, PT Banam said he's above the law. Something like that. Looking in the comments real quick. He will beat them because they are BS. Nope, just good lawyers. I don't care if they're BS or if he got the best lawyers. You think they're not putting the best lawyers on him? You think they're not listen, the state and certainly the federal government has infinite resources. 96% conviction rate the feds have. I get to take 70 shots at you, and I'm 96% effective at hitting the target. Imagine being in the range and the guy next to you hits the target 96% of the time, and he has a 91 round magazine on him. You expect all them shots to fucking miss? He hits the target 96% of the time, and he got 91 shots in this drum, and you expect all of them shots to miss. That's what Trump is dealing with. It's laughable. Even if you believe they're bullshit, I'm not here to debate that, but 96% effective at hitting the target, and you got 91 shots in the drum. And the guy is betting that you're going to miss that piece of paper or whatever you're shooting at. You're going to miss all 91 of those. Statistical probability, folks. I'm not talking about if it's Trump or if it's God or Jesus or my baby mama, whatever. I'm talking about the statistical probability of actually one of those shots getting through and hitting the target. That's all I'm talking about. Anyhow, folks, you know what this is. It's a lunch break live. I do appreciate you folks. You know what we do here Monday through Friday. Civilized dialogue, both sides of the aisle. If you enjoy that, follow the program. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. In fact, we do it without a moderator. So if you enjoy that, you're in the right place. I implore you to follow the program. Is, always will remain MAGA friendly, always has been. Until the next show, see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. This is your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. I got to go. You folks on YouTube, I do appreciate you rolling with your boy. Nevertheless, you know, I don't know why the sun always finds its way. It moves. I'm going to have to find a different place to park for this to work on a tablet, but I do appreciate you folks. Also in the comments, I like to read a few comments before I run off on YouTube, so I'll give you folks a few here. I'm a 70s baby. I had to pay off my college. It should still be like that. Great topic to bring. I ran on that for a real quick second. Right now, with the money going to the Ukraine and to some degree Israel, a lot of folks on the right are suggesting that it should be America first. We should take care of our own before we're sending money overseas to these other countries. But then you have folks like what you're talking about. I think Tim Scott ran a campaign like that as well, saying if you take out a loan, you should have to pay it back. Here's the problem. You can't talk about being America first while being against all the social policies that would help out Americans. In other words, if I'm leaning left and I'm in favor of helping out the Ukrainians, and you're talking about, well, that money could be better spent in America, show me some Americans that are saying before they were helping out the Ukrainians, they used to help us out when we were homeless. They used to give us discounts on this, or they used to look out for, you know, children having school lunches they couldn't afford to. Show me where you actually are going to do something for Americans. And then you have more people willing to agree that maybe money shouldn't be going to the Ukraine, it should be here in America. But we just the Russians just invaded the Ukrainians February of 2022. So that's not a very old war. All of the problems that we're talking about existed before then. Fact is, I think most folks, particularly on the left, feel that even if the Ukrainians were somehow able to get the Russians out of their country and get all of the money that they received from the U.S., if they gave 100% of that money back to America, most of us on the left don't feel like our lives would change at all. You'd still be against student loan forgiveness. You still would have the same feelings you do about, you know, reducing welfare, food stamps, you know, school lunch programs, all that. So it's hard to find people that's on the left that actually believe that it really is a true play at America first. Show us the policies. Don't just say bring the money home. We could be doing more for Americans. How about some of those politicians tell us what the money would be going to? Just hold a rally, hold a gathering, hold a town hall. I propose that we stop sending money to the Ukrainians today because I want to build a rec center in this neighborhood. I want to actually show us. Just simply telling us America first without any meat behind it is meaningless. Because we've seen how a lot of folks feel about social programs. If you give her food stamps, she's just going to have more kids. If you give them extended unemployment, they're just not going to try to get a job. That was happening before we started sending money to the Ukraine. So I just want to point that out. A lot of folks don't believe this. Stop helping out the Ukrainians. We need to help out America first. A lot of folks don't believe you're going to do that. Anyhow, my battery on this thing is dying. I appreciate you folks here. I'll see you tomorrow.